And as telecom operators accelerate their transition to cloud-native infrastructure, Composable IT has emerged as a critical enabler for deploying 5G core, edge services, and private networks at scale. This panel explores how modular API-driven architectures are powering real-world use cases across industries, that enabling dynamic service chaining, faster time to market, and greater network adaptability. Joining us are Mina Nicola. He's Sales and Solution Architect, RAN, OSS, and Cloud, that at Rakuten Symphony. Next to him is Fernando Rubio Martínez. He's Telecom Executive Director, Europe and Latin America at NTT Data. And on the end is Elisabeth Andersson. She's Director of the Office of the CTO, that at MATRIXX Software. And speakers, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here. Of course, we're here at DTW 25 Ignite, sort of day 2 here. I don't know if any one of you are coming tomorrow, so maybe day 2 of 3. So certainly the title of this session is Composable IT for Real-World Use Cases. Elisabeth, I'm going to start with you if you don't mind. How is composable IT architecture really lending itself to a more agile and scalable 5G core and really edge compute as well?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it today, a lot of the markets and a lot of the CSPs have a lot of different systems in place. And there are a lot of them are monolithic. And you also see that they might have the same type of system across different segments of their industry. And of course, with the composable and cloud native and microservice-based architecture, you have the opportunity to string things together in a different way. So in that way, you can also create new things. And often today, you might have really big systems that are doing a little bit more than what you need, but by being able to use the same things across the different industry segments, you can actually decompose and modularize this and put this all together. And of course, open APIs are one way of doing that in order to be able to integrate the different parts together in new, interesting ways. That's
Luis, anything to add?
Yes, I would add to Elisabeth's response that, I mean, when it comes to 5G enabled services, there is no limits, okay? And a key feature is the abstraction. I mean, for the commercial IT system, it will be key to abstract the complexity or the different technologies related with 5G, because as you mentioned before, we are talking about open APIs, we will be talking about network slicing, 5G private network, and at the end it's about offering these capabilities and decouple the technological complexity that they already have, and just to assemble product and services on top of these capabilities without having any kind of a dependency with this underlying technological layer.
Yeah, I think I just want to agree that the silos of the data with disaggregated applications created silos of data which create burden on the telecom operators. So having a unified platform with open APIs all comes under one place. It makes it easier for faster to market offering and also real life use cases. So it's very important in today's transformation of the telecom industry.
Yeah. Luis, if we can get a little more specific, as CSPs launch private networks for their customers, how are these composable platforms being leveraged? And maybe in specific use cases?
Yeah, when it comes to 5G private network, we have to understand that who are the target clients. I mean, probably in many cases are not going to be big companies that are very used to purchase technology. In some cases, we will be talking about small and medium businesses, and for them, it's not easy to buy network technologies. Okay, and the CSP has to avoid transfer the complexity to them when it comes to purchase infra, the edge, the virtualization layer, the network function. I mean, it's important to deliver all this stuff together, okay, pre-integrated, in order to be easy to the final clients. There is when it comes the digital native experience for the final clients. They need to have a digital native experience when it comes to purchasing and delivering, okay, this 5G private network product and services based, okay? Composable IT is the key at the end. Telco operator has to deploy these capabilities in order to offer this seamless experience just with some clicks to be able to purchase a 5G private network, regardless of if we are talking about a standalone 5G private network or we are talking about a private 5G network plus an use case. Okay, in that sense, the CSP has to, be very flexible when it comes to deploying IT system that will enable these companies to have this digital native experience. Okay.
Elisabeth?
No, but the other part to it too is you need to translate that stuff because it's all very technical. We also need to make this into a product. So we need to start talking about what is the value that this is all bringing and translating that into the business needs that are needed for that industry in question. Because of course, we are on the CSP side, it will be technical, but the business are buying a service. So we really need to translate all of that. And we need to, of course, define the right products for the right segments and be able to tailor that to their needs and make sure that it works for them in their different cases.
I want to get to real-time service composition and how really the orchestration layer and cloud-native principles really play a part there.
Yeah, I think you are touching two of the main, very important points in today's transformation. So when you speak about the orchestration, it's act as a nerve system as of today for the multi-vendor, multi-technology, multi-domain orchestration. We know SMO can act as the umbrella system that govern all of these components under one place. And we already spoke about the disaggregation of the different tools, the silos of data. So all of that comes under the SMO, which can bring more benefits into this domain. The other part, it acts as a real-time lifecycle management for deploying, scaling, self-healing, and slicing with all of the capabilities that can bring to the table. And under SMO comes the RIC, our apps and X apps, and we have seen the technological advance that it can bring. We have seen Rakuten Mobile, what is doing with RIC and energy saving reduction, 25% they have announced in the energy saving. So it brings a whole level of use cases in near real-time applications. The other part you mentioned, which is equally important, is the cloud technology. So think about microservices architecture. It enables faster deployment of application. Think about CI/CD pipeline, CNF, all of the containerization of the existing infrastructure. So all of these are pillars for the future transformation. I think today markets, SMO, RIC, and cloud native are progressing very quickly. I think mainly the openness, the open API, still where we need to spend more effort as an open APIs to come together under one umbrella. So there is a lot done and there's a lot to be done.
Yeah. Anything to add?
I think it's clear.
Elisabeth?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to add to that. Again, it's also about productifying all of this. Again, we need to do that. And there is opportunities because what we're talking about is much more dynamic services. And the dynamicity is really something that is key, that is enabled by the 5G core in a different way than it has been in the past. So it's really about an evolution of the services and the possibilities, and probably also doing things in shorter spans. Maybe not, deploy once and it's done. No, we're deploying something, we're changing the performance, we're changing the service that we're providing. And of course, we need to monetize all of these parts as well. So it's really, really key to all of this. And the cloud nativeness will allow that. And also, if you look at it from the perspective of the eventing, and you talked about open APIs, and that's great. And we need to see an evolution of that. And we need to see an evolution that goes into streaming. And thinking about AI in the future as well, all of this will be a lot of data that will be available to the CSPs as well. And we need to have that real-time availability of the information to drive all those possible AI agents in the future as well. So there's quite a bit of opportunity in here.
Luis, I want to get to composable IT for telecom service delivery and maybe what innovations need to happen maybe sooner than later in order to really accelerate that process.
Yeah, very good question. Yeah, when it comes, as I mentioned before, providing a digital native experience when it comes to deliver 5G private network, standalone or plus use cases, also is very dependent on the orchestration. When we talk about orchestration, it's about managing services, managing resources. Okay. How I see in the future is more in a assembling way. I mean, very product catalog driven. I see like assemble different components, different services, different resources, not like a linear workflow. We understand this assembling concept because we will be talking about the infra layer, the infrastructure, the edge node that we will have to deploy. I mean, on the premises of the companies and the public cloud for all these functions that don't need to be on the premises. We will have to orchestrate the deployment of the network function, the 5G core, okay, the NEF, okay, the RAN, the CU, the DU, okay. We will have to deploy the management layer, okay, the element management system for managing the 5G network, and of course the use case, the application that will be for instance the computer vision application. Okay, for instance, for a mining company, okay, we will have a lot of things to deploy and to automate their deployment. And here, if I also consider here very relevant for the future the agentic, okay, because and if we put together this assembling concept and the agentic, we can see an orchestration scenario non-deterministic. Okay, in some cases, the agents will be deciding, I mean, which elements, which resources, which services has to be prioritized, has to be kind of adjusted. I truly believe on this autonomy in the orchestration of these 5G private network together with use cases. Okay, not just the first deployment, but also the evolution, the adjustment, the changes on top of the initial deployments can be done very autonomously through agentic.
Anything to add?
No, I think this is the key part. I mean, it's all about understanding what has been delivered as well, and also reaching those SLAs, because I mean, there's going to be a lot of information about how is this performed, the dynamic changes of it, and the life cycle part. So of course, one of the challenges for the operator will be not only to monetize all of this, but ensuring that there is an SLA enforcement in place, making sure it's transparent and fair to the end user with all the life cycle events going on in the network and the service delivers as well.
I think I just agree with all of that, and the ultimate goal is to having the autonomous network. So the less you touch the network, the better, right?
Yeah.
So the autonomous network is what we are aiming for. Agentech is one way to do it. Closed loop automation to sit on top of your existing tooling. So all of that is important to reach the autonomous network, because as we were discussing at the end of the day, so we are having the bottom line and the top line. We need to increase that and decrease that.
Indeed.
So it's very important that whatever we do have the business impact at the end and the benefit for the end user and for the OpCo together.
Well, I think if we're sitting here this time next year talking about composable IT, might have more use cases to talk about, and things are accelerating at a pace that we probably haven't seen before.
Definitely.
So I don't think this area is exclusive to that. Elisabeth, good to meet you, by the way. Thanks for giving us
you.
your insight and your time.
Thank you.
Luis, I hope I pronounced your name right, by the way.
Sorry?
Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Thanks for your time and your insight as
You
well, and being
for
very
having us.
cooperative with us over the last
Okay.
couple days. And Mina, it was very good to meet you.
Thank you.
I've seen you
Appreciate
around the
it.
Rakuten Symphony booth, very, very busy. And
Yeah, we're happy to be here. We are excited for this year and for the future to go.
good.
Thank you.
Again, thanks for your time.
Thank
you.
you.